Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too. Let's crack on with today's first story. Much love guys. Now today's first story comes from Ordinary Sky 4404 and it says, am I the arsehole here for telling my girlfriend I want a break after she cussed me out because I left her at my family reunion? I, 27 male, have been dating Emma, 27 female, for a year and 3 months. I can tell you I love her, but I've recently told her I want a break because of how she spoke to me, yelling and cussing me out. She's saying couples fight and that's all it was. I don't know if I really want to feel this way again. Now she's telling me I'm the arsehole for trying to walk away over a fight. I need advice because after 4 days, I'm wondering if I'm ending things too fast. A week ago today, I took my girlfriend to a family reunion. The first one since COVID, and everyone showed up. My big family was all together. My girlfriend would be meeting a lot of new people, but a few she's met already. Being at the reunion an hour, my girlfriend and I were talking to my cousin, 30 female, who knew my girlfriend from working together. So while those two were catching up, I saw an uncle I haven't seen in a while. So I went over and said hello. Talking with him for about 10 minutes, I keep turning around to see if my girlfriend was still with my cousin, talking. My grandmother asked me to help carry 4 tables. I let my girlfriend know I was going to carry 4 tables inside and asked did she want to come. She said no, she's fine talking to my cousin. I helped carry the 4 tables, then came back over to her. I was away no more than 10 to 15 minutes. As we made eye contact, I could see that she looked annoyed. As I walked towards her, she started walking towards an open ground away from anyone. As I walked up, she said, "Why the fuck are you leaving me alone?" I said, "I told you I was carrying tables and you were with my cousin." She's a familiar face. She said she saw other family and walked away to talk with them. So I'm standing here looking like a dumbass because you left me alone. I honestly never saw her so upset. She said, "If I had known you'd be leaving me alone, I would have stayed home." I said, "I'm sorry, I wasn't meaning for you to feel that way." I helped and came right back. She said whatever and walked back towards everyone. You could visibly see she was upset, and I asked her, please not here in front of my family. She said, "Take me home then." I said, "Are you serious right now?" And she started walking towards the car. Driving her home, I said, "I was only gone 10 to 15 minutes. She said, "It doesn't matter how long you were gone, you left me alone looking like a dumbass." I felt so blindsided and shocked that things escalated this quickly. 30 minutes earlier, I was just carrying the tables in. At one point she was just yelling and going off, then she said, "You're acting like a dumbass, it's ridiculous." As she got out the car she said, "I'll call you when I'm ready to talk." I drove home in silence, confused about how we got here, and I'm wrong for leaving her and not thinking about how she'd feel. I do understand that and I apologize. I thought she'd be comfortable with my cousin. I didn't think that she walked away. My girlfriend spoke to me like I was trash and I'm not okay with it. Later that night I got a text from her best friend saying how I'm an arsehole for leaving her and what was the point of bringing her. She told me my girlfriend was upset and couldn't believe me. After 3 days of not hearing from her, I text her a long message letting her know that I love her, but I don't ever want to be spoken to like that by my partner. It's been 3 days and I haven't heard from you. I understand being wrong, but not hearing from you for 3 days is crazy. She called me, and when I answered, she told me I'm wrong for wanting to take a break because she's upset. She said, "You left me, and you don't see the problem with that." And I told her, "It's how you spoke to me that's the issue. I didn't mean to have you feeling alone, but even after apologizing, you kept going." She said couples fight, and she can't believe I want to end things. I do care about her and I love her, but for the past 3 days I've been thinking about how she spoke to me. Sitting in that feeling and not hearing from her didn't help. I sent texts and called her, but she didn't answer. I keep thinking about how she was just yelling and cussing me out. Am I the arsehole for wanting to break up? Please, whatever advice is needed. Sorry for the long post. First thoughts on the back of this was just thinking, is that the first time this happened in this relationship? Because it just seems like a wild reaction. OP being gone for 15 minutes to help family carrying tables. You know, you even told her that's what you were doing. And her response was to cuss you out and created a scene and then, you know, gave you the silent treatment for 3 days. And then when you finally say, this isn't great behavior and I'm not happy with this, it gets switched around on you. But Vickers says, not the arsehole. You didn't leave her alone more than a few minutes, and as far as you know, she was with someone she knew. What you did was completely unintentional, yet she focused on her immature feelings. You apologized for something I don't think you should have even apologized for, but that still wasn't good enough for her. She proceeded to cuss you out and make you take her home like a baby, and ghosted you for 3 days and had her flying monkeys call and berate you, and they don't even know the whole story. I wouldn't have asked for a break. I would have ended it right then, and I would tell her friends to shut the fuck up. Pomegranate says, no. How you fight matters. People who think you can say terrible things when you're angry and somehow they don't count are wrong. She said she meant to be hurtful and doesn't get to be confused that it hurt. Prof Plum did it says, not the arsehole. Breaking up is definitely the right call. It was a few minutes. Not like you dropped her at the door and vanished for hours. If she looked like a dumbass, it was because she chose to. She could have looked for you or someone else she'd already met, gone to the bathroom or outside, and texted you asking you to meet her there. Or if she's at all extroverted, she could have asked if those setting up needed help. She had options, but she chose to stand around getting pissed for no reason that made you leave your first family gathering in 5 years. This girl is no good. Interrupting Chicken says, not the arsehole, and you're right to be rethinking. She's finally shown you her true colors after 15 months. She's not even willing to reflect on her own behavior. If you stay together, she will do this again. This was not just a fight. This is her showing that she's not classy. She can't be alone with new people. She ripped you a new one when you didn't deserve it. Then she got a friend to pile on. I hate that. Friends and family members don't belong in the middle of a couple's fight. And then gave you the silent treatment. Never acceptable in a relationship as far as I'm concerned. The final nail in the coffin is that she overreacted and cussed you out in front of your family and then demanded you leave with her. If you had just started dating and she did this, would you think, yeah, I can live with this behavior for the rest of my life? And one more comment from Mel the Keeper who says, I would say not the arsehole. Going to a significant other's family function is you supporting the other person. She could have come looking for you or introduced herself to more of your family and waited and caught back up. The point of a reunion is for you to see your family, in my opinion. Her being there should be her supporting you. Regardless, you have a boundary about yelling, which is reasonable and many people do. If you decide to stay, you should level set conflict resolution with her. I highly recommend Ricky and Jimmy on Relationships podcast and Things I Wish I'd Known Before We Got Married by Gary Chapman, and the 7 Principles book by the Gottmans. If you want to stay, research and try to grow together. You know what's best for you. Whether you stay or go, I wish you the best of luck. So, it was around a week after this post that OP came in with her update and said, hello everyone. I was not expecting so many people to comment and give advice. Thank you everyone. Honestly, I needed to hear some of these comments. A few of you said that she's done this before in some way. I've never seen her that upset. It really threw me off, and for it to be the first time at my family reunion again, it threw me off. When she asked to leave immediately instead of us figuring out what was going on, I didn't think my family reunion was the place for us to have any type of back and forth, so of course I took her home. I'm not someone who yells at my partner. My parents only communicated through yelling and random outbursts. I don't communicate that way and don't want a relationship like my parents. I'm 6'2", 210 pounds. It doesn't look good for someone my size to be yelling at my partner. I don't ever want my partner to feel intimidated or unsafe from me yelling at her. The day after I posted, I texted Emma asking if we could talk. A few of you said she could have social anxiety that I didn't know about. I have a really big family, so I wanted to see if maybe that was it. I asked her if she did have social anxiety, and she said no. I said, help me understand why you were so upset. She said, I don't understand how uncomfortable it is to just stand around not knowing anyone, and I should have stayed around longer before leaving her. You should have said, come with me while I move the tables. After she got done talking for about 5 minutes, I told her I'm done with this relationship. You came up with all these different scenarios I should have done, but here's one you didn't think about. Tell me that it made you uncomfortable being left alone so I can be with you. I would have understood you only knew about 10 people out of 70 or 80 people, so I would have just walked you around meeting everyone. This was a moment I could have shown you that I care about your feelings, and you could have trusted. My family is super inviting, and all she had to do was give it all a chance. It has all shown me that this isn't a relationship I want to be a part of, and I don't want to be in a relationship where my partner is justifying cussing me out. She started backpedaling and saying a lot of other stuff, but I told her I had to go, and good luck in life. I haven't spoken to her at all. I blocked her number and I blocked her friend's number. I want to find my partner. I want to be with someone who can talk to me and figure things out. I feel that was an easy win for our relationship, but it went the way it did for some reason. I didn't miss out on the reunion. Since it's been a while, our reunion was the entire weekend. My grandparents have a farmhouse that sits on a lot of acres, so a lot of us camped out the entire weekend. The first day was us setting up our tents. The second day was all the cousins, 20 to 40 years old, had a kickball tournament. And the third day, we had a big fish fry. My family kept my mind busy those days. She wasn't speaking to me, and it helped me so much. I can't wait to have a partner I can share memories like this weekend with. Thank you for everyone who gave me advice. And all I can say on the back of that is fair play to OP, you know. The fact that she wasn't acknowledging her reaction to it at all and just kept trying to put it back in OP's court. I understood where he came from when he just said, you know, this isn't the relationship that I want. Best of luck to you. I'm out. But the weekend did sound amazing, didn't it? Family get together, big cookout, good times. Pretty amazing. But what do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Let's move on to another story. Now, our next story comes from Normal Midnight 1661 and says, am I the arsehole here for calling the ambulance for my co-worker, even though I know she was kind of faking it? I, 28 male, am working in an English language center in a Southeast Asian country. There's a female co-worker in her 20s here who often touches her head and wobbles like she was about to faint. And she would lie down on the couch, letting people fan her, bring water and food to her. We take midday naps here, so whenever she does this, everyone's lunch and nap time is ruined, especially the ones who keep caring for her. This would happen at least twice a month, so over the last 5 or 6 months, I've seen a few incidents where we work the same shift. One time she even asked me to order ice cream for her. Info is a big, crowded city, so you can just walk into the ice cream shop nearby to grab one for $1. Didn't pay me back, but that's besides the point. This Monday, she did it again, and this time asked the girl to order her an iced drink and a sandwich. A group of co-workers fanned her, did the whole caring thing like she's a sick child. I stood up from my chair, walked towards her, asked if she was okay. Then I went to the men's washroom, dialed for an ambulance and went back to my seat. After 20 minutes, we heard the siren. My phone rang again and I stood up and told her servant to help her to the ambulance. Her face changed. You know that face when someone knows they fucked up. Other girls asked if I called. I said yeah. It seems more severe this time. It's best for her to go. The ambulance is here already. You have to pay for it regardless. The ambulance fee is about 1 to 2 days worth of her salary, up to $50. Other co-workers actually agreed and helped get her to an ambulance. Now that I think of it, no one called an ambulance for her once. Ever since that incident, she stopped interacting with me beyond highs and hellos. Thursday now, not a word to me. Am I the arsehole here for this? Miss Jabroni says, damn, this is something I actually want an update on. After that incident, did she stop her faking for a bit? Did she continue? I feel like if she stopped for a bit, you should tell your co-workers the ambulance trick worked and they need to do it. Every time you see her, you should be annoying and just ask if she's feeling okay. Opie says, it's only been 4 days. Usually she acts up every 2 weeks, sometimes once a week but in a milder way. Tired, headaches, etc. Not fully laying on the couch. It's a small update, but I texted the 2 girls and turns out she hasn't paid them back food money. But they're teachers, so they said it didn't bother them. Our workplace is very nice and peaceful otherwise. Commenter says, I had someone I was supervising act like they were having a heart attack. I was pretty confident their plan was to skip the ER and head home as they didn't want to work. Unfortunately for them, there is a policy that does not allow someone having a heart attack to drive, so they had to go through with the ER. Expensive, fake heart attack. Of all things, why would you go for a heart attack to try and skip work? That's just like the most extreme thing. You could have went with the 2 bob bits, the shits, and got away with it that way. But a very sad cat says not the arsehole. It might stop her using others for freebies, attention seeking and dodging work. If it's such a regular occurrence, she needs it checked out and you helped her with that. If it's faked, fuck around, find out. The fact she's not talking to you is telling. Pissed you didn't follow the script and dared to put a stop to her antics. I guess the hospital didn't provide free snacks or minions to fan her and wait on her needs. Be interesting to see if she stops doing it now. In fear another ambulance might be called and she have to pay £50 instead of getting free snacks. It was the ice cream thing that gave me whiplash. You know, she's on the couch being fanned by everyone, looking like she's on the way out. And she's like, oh, but please, just nip across the road and grab me a Mr. Whippy. Please. Cookie dough flavor, please. Gee whiz. But at some point later, OP did come back in with an update and said, here's the update on the female co-worker who kept fainting and asking people to order food for her. I call her Anne, because there's a lot of women involved in this update. After the first post, I texted some female co-workers to see if they had received food money back. 2 female teachers told me that they hadn't, but they didn't mind. The total amount was $20 per person. Words got around fast and I was added to a group of 5 other people. So in total, at least 7 female teachers were affected by Anne. Based on their word, Anne was low blood pressure and malnutrition. She indeed is very thin, K-pop idol type of body. She clearly has some unhealthy relationship with food. It's almost as if she doesn't want to pay for food. She borrowed money from multiple female teachers to pay hospital bills and begged them to not disclose this information to others. We're talking up to a loan that's worth 4 months of salary. She basically borrowed half of that teacher's emergency funds. She's also flirted with one female teacher. Her teacher often brings her on small dinner dates. I didn't ask on this matter. HR was notified. The girls did the talking. I was in as the one that called the ambulance. After the meeting, it's confirmed that Anne will be let go after 30 days. The reasoning was creating a hostile workplace environment. This morning was really awkward. Unfortunately, HR cannot help with the loans that people has given her, as it's a personal matter. However, HR is willing to provide personal information of Anne to the affected co-workers. Oh well, it's their matter now. So, answering some comments from the previous post. Some mentioned that I was wasting healthcare resources. Well, she was examined and came back with a diagnosis. Some asked why everything's so cheap. It's Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Most things are affordable here except real estate, lol. In fact, my overseas relatives literally book flights to Vietnam for medical care. Insulin here is like $3 to $7 per vial, and you can buy it at almost any public or private hospital. If you have national healthcare ID, it's basically free. Some was worried for me because I accidentally slipped my personal social media page on the previous post. I don't really care, honestly. I'm considered a valuable asset, and I'm easy to work with. If anything comes up, I think the company and I will be able to solve it peacefully. Yes, people take midday naps in Vietnam. You're the odd one if you don't. If I'm not standing a class, I'm allowed to be online doing TikToks, etc. Having a TikTok account is not a legal reason to be let go. There's one Redditor here who was incredibly vindictive and was trying to antagonize me in the DMs. Girl, get a grip. You deliberately ignored all of the comments. You're blocked. Bye. And finally, don't lend your co-workers half your emergency funds. Like, why? And I'm glad that things are turning back to normal in some kind of way. But I couldn't get over the fact of the nap time there. And Opie said, you know, go and search it up. It's part of Vietnamese culture. And I was looking it up and it looks absolutely amazing. Midday nap to keep you going. It just sounds great. There's like videos of people just in the office, you know, just wheeling the chair back, getting out and then just having a little nap behind. Sounds absolutely amazing. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Let's move on to another story. Now, our next story comes from Classic Web 6642, and it says, am I the asshole for showing up to Mother's Day when my sister-in-law warned me she would make a scene if I did? My sister-in-law, Cleo, tried to tell me that nobody wanted me around for Mother's Day. She insisted I drop off my husband, her brother, and if I came with him, she would make it everyone's problem. My husband Ryan said that he wanted me to be there as well, and he knew my mother-in-law would also want that. Ryan is aware of my conflict with Cleo, as he was dragged into it. He's disabled and she believes she needs to protect him from me. It stems from her not approving of our open marriage and not trusting Ryan's lived experience. She tried to confront me over it and ended up looking foolish. I'm sure it's partially a bruised ego. Oh, Cleo told me that I better not show up and ruin everyone's day. I have a good relationship with my mother-in-law, and I made her a little stained glass piece of lilacs, her favorite flower. My plan was to arrive with Ryan, seek out mother-in-law to give her the gift, and make sure that she did want me there. I'd leave if she didn't. It's her days, not Cleo's. We showed up, mother-in-law was very happy to see us, hugged us both and brought us inside. I gave her my gift, she loved it and immediately put it up in her kitchen window. Cleo cornered me and asked me why I'd shown up, when she clearly told me not to come, and said that mother-in-law deserved a nice time with her children without interlopers. My phrasing, hers was more colourful. She continued to dig at me to the point that mother-in-law asked her why. Cleo said that she'd warned me not to come. Mother-in-law asked Cleo to knock it off. Cleo doubled down and said that I am the problem, not her. Mother-in-law more firmly told her to knock it off and whatever is going on between us is just between us. Cleo became very angry about that, grabbed her purse and left. The rest of us relaxed, but the vibe shifted. I feel terrible about putting a dark cloud over Mother's Day. Ryan said that it's okay. Cleo was the one with the issue and she is alienating the family by thinking she knows best. He said he would try to talk to her again, but last time he tried she wouldn't listen. The next day, Cleo sent me several long messages that can be summed up with, "I do not trust you and I will prove to everyone that you're no good and you ruined Mother's Day." Was I really the wrong party in this situation for showing up, knowing Cleo would say or do something? I mean, she did warn me and I showed up anyway. Even if she was the one to leave in the end, Cleo is her daughter, not me. In the comments, Old Saggy Tit Biscuits, great name, says, "Info, please explain what Dick Cloud is and how can I get one of those?" That was just based on the post before it was edited. Instead of Dark Cloud, it said a Dick Cloud, which made me chuckle. But all kidding aside, your sister-in-law is a psycho, not the arsehole. Her actions are her own, and there was no need for her to do anything. Yet she chose to. Her mum and brother told her to stop. She didn't. That's all her. Hopefully your husband and mother-in-law will continue to stick up for you, and maybe it'll stop. Baha says, "I need to know why she hates you so much. Why doesn't she trust you? You mentioned open marriage, but I feel like there has to be more to it." Commenter replies saying, based on OP mentioning her husband is disabled and Cleo is claiming to protect her brother, it sounds like to me that Cleo infantilizes her disabled brother and is convinced he doesn't have the agency to decide how he wants to conduct his own life. So she considers OP a predator because in Cleo's mind, either no one could fall in love with someone disabled and/or disabled people aren't capable of consent. It's actually a pretty common ableist viewpoint from what I've heard from folks in the disability community. Normal replies to that and saying true, on a slightly more reasonable note. It also sounds like she believes OP has pressured him into accepting an open marriage. That's actually an abusive dynamic. I don't think that's what's actually happening, but I've heard a boatload of horror stories about ethical non-monogamy, which isn't actually done ethically. And the majority of the comments were saying to OP, like, "You're not the arsehole. This is Cleo's issue. She's the one who's made the problem. She's the one who threatened. All you did was turn up when you was invited. And that's simply it. Every decision thereafter was her decision. And that's her choice if that's what she wants to do." But what do you guys make of this situation? What would you do in OP's shoes? Maybe you got a different take on the matter. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, just a huge thank you for being here today, getting involved in the stories, your love, your support, your time. It always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much for being involved, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Take care and much love.